I am Becca. Welcome to All the Things Thursday. To anybody new, to all my old people, all my OGs. Thanks for coming back, looking at the videos, liking them, hopefully commenting. I very much appreciate that. To anybody new here, welcome. All the Things Thursday is my weekly video that I talk about all the things going on in my yarny little world. And it is now officially October. Whew. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. We're almost done with a lot of things. So, if you didn't see my video last week, I definitely encourage you, not only for my analytics, but just because I can't recap everything, and watch that video. Had a little bit of a talk with my mom, because my mom is that person where we might not always get along, but she understands me and she helps me better understand the world around me. And so she was just like, so when you talk to your agent, you need to tell her what your thinking process is, because if you don't, you're going to continue to have this mismatched expectations, you're going to continue to have miscommunication, and you're going to continue to be frustrated. So, because I thought that something needed to happen. Like, we had the inspection. The inspection had revealed that there might be a problem with the foundation, that further inspection was suggested. And I was like, okay, so in my mind, I have to say, okay, yes, we want further inspection. Can we have further inspection? And then they have to say yes. That's not what had to happen. And I did not figure that out. We did not get that communication ironed out until the day that we were supposed to have our decision done, which was last Friday. But thankfully, the owner and the agent were very understanding that there had been a miscommunication. We got that inspection done Monday afternoon. He was just like, nope, there's nothing wrong with the foundation. He's like, any cracking in the flooring seems to be because of improper installation. And I'm like, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Because again, if we do get this house, we're only going to be there for about 5 years, and it's only about 5 years old. So by the time we're ready to move, it'll be time to replace the floor anyway. So we're good. Today was the inspection on the house that we're selling. That was supposed to happen Friday as well initially, but then his inspector flaked on him. So we were like, we're going to make sure this guy shows up. And so he did show up this time, made sure he had everything he needed. And he's like, yeah, this is not going to take us very long. This is going to take us maybe 45 minutes. We went to a baker's shop that's near me, met some very wonderful people. I am just floored with how friendly and just nice people are when they can understand the limitations of not only yourself but your special needs children. And I mean there was this woman there with a guy, and I don't know what their relationship was, so I'm not saying what their relationship was, but she, Rose went to her like a moth to flame. And I'm like, okay. And then the young man that was with her started talking with me, and we were talking about autism and knitting and crocheting, and the lady down the way was just like, oh, I knit and I crochet. So made some friends today. If you're watching, hi. I'm not going to say your names because, trying to keep your privacy for you. That being said, let's talk about projects and what I've done. So if you did see last week's video, you saw me almost have a mental breakdown because of having issues with the blanket and having to restart for the third time. I will admit, I pouted and the blanket went into timeout for a little while. So I worked on some other stuff too. So you're going to see some actual other stuff other than the blanket. Aren't you special? But let's start with the blanket first, since that's the most important. So let me make sure I'm holding this right. So there's obviously a pretty side and a back side. And I'm gonna have to go back and weave some of the longer ones in, but I am trying to crochet over my ends too. See how there's like some of them, they're way out here, so that there's not as much to weave in. I'm still trying to tie knots so that it doesn't come apart like the last the very first one did. And instead of going back and forth, I am just going in one direction, just, and even this spot here where it was just white, just went one row at a time, because I didn't want to change what I was doing in the middle of the blanket, lest I do something like mess up my stitch count, or, but anyway, it feels like, I mean, even though I'm using an extended single crochet, which is almost just like a half double crochet, it feels like it's smaller, but that's okay. This is a baby blanket, and we were gonna put a border on it anyway, so I'm good with that. Now while the blanket was in timeout, I did pull out this mystery yarn that I got from Smart. If we do have any relatively new people here, Smart is a secondhand arts and crafts store in the city of Nashville where I live. There's actually 2 different locations where it's like Goodwill, but it's specifically for art supplies. So sometimes I pick up yarn and I don't know what it is. I don't know what the fiber content is. I don't know who made it. I don't know what, but you know, if I were to guess, I would say this is maybe, if it has wool in it, it's a small percentage of wool. Feels more like acrylic to me. Maybe it has a little bit of nylon in it. It's definitely a 5 bulky. What size needles am I using? Because this is knit, I'm using needles. And I'm using my 5.5 millimeter or size 9 needles. So if I were to hazard guess, I would say these are a thick 4 or a thin 5, somewhere in there. So the first thing I made was, of course, there's a pattern on Ravelry called Boyfriend Hat. It's made for bulky yarn. I think I cast on 60 stitches, and it looks small, but it expands. Like it looks small, but look, watch. Now, I did make it a little shorter than I normally do, because you know I like to make hats that cover my ears all the way. But I was using the hand measurement method with this one, and wasn't really following a pattern, so I'm not surprised that it is a little bit short. But again, this hat is not for me. I will probably put it in the stack of hats that I will then donate to the pantry that is associated with my church. I do this every year at the beginning of the winter season. I donate hats to the pantry, and they, you know, it's a, you know, whoever needs them takes them. And to go with the hat, I started making a scarf. Nothing fancy. I'm just going back and forth garter stitch. I am doing it on the bias where there's one stitch marker, I'm decreasing. Where there's two stitch markers together, I'm increasing. Just knit front, back, and then knitting two together. So again, nothing's a nice, no thinking project that I can take with me wherever. Because, you know, sometimes you need something to do with your hands, well, but it doesn't take your brain. So, that being said, we should know by the end of this week whether or not the person who is buying our house is going to ask for any financial compensation or repairs on our house. If he asks for pretty small things, we could probably accommodate him. I'm nervous about if there's a large thing that needs to be repaired, because we can't afford to repair it at this time, and it's become very apparent to me that we need to move. So at that point, I don't know what we're gonna do. So yeah, that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, especially if you're a subscriber. That way the evil YouTube overlords don't unsubscribe you from my channel against your will. Feel free to comment down below. It helps my analytics. If you're not a subscriber yet, please consider subscribing. I have a lot of yarning content, and if that's your jibe, make sure you're subscribed. If you're new to knitting or crocheting and you're looking for tutorials, I do have a couple on my channel from back in the day. If you have any requests, feel free to either comment or email directly at happyyarngirl@gmail.com. If you want to help this channel grow, share this video with everyone you know. In the meantime, make what makes you merry. Ciao.